Okay, everybody, here is a recap of what we did today. So, what we did is we looked at data, and this particular is on page 206. This particular data is regarding studies of frog eggs, average about number of glass frog eggs, and of course, they talk about how frogs are a little bit in trouble with the change in the climate and the ozone layer. So, this is a study over 43 months from 0 to 43 and all the populations, okay? And then if you did a scatter plot of it, it would look a little bit like this. You see the dot, 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 dot. So it kind of looks like it goes up, down, and then back up again. And so when we look at this model, it almost looks like it could be quartic, like x to the fourth, some x to the fourth equation, or a quartic equation. So we want to get this equation, right, to best fit this so we can make predictions using our equations. So what I did is I put it in the calculator, and I'll write down the steps when I get done doing this, but I'll show you as I go through it, and then I'll write down the steps. So the first thing you do, after I turn it on, of course, is since we're going to do these numbers, it's like doing statistics. So I'm going to go ahead and push the stat button. The stat button is there, so it's stat. And I want to edit. Now I've already put the numbers in, but if you want to clear old lists, you just highlight your list. I'm not going to do it. Push clear and then down arrow. But I'm not going to clear because I already put these in there. Okay. And then if I want to clear list 2, if I want to get rid of old numbers, I can push highlight the list number, hit clear, and then down arrow. But I'm not going to do that because I already put them in. So then I'm going to enter all my data, which I did. So I push 0, enter, 1, enter, 2, enter. So I'm putting these numbers here into list 1. So I just did that. I entered all the data. You can see I'm going all the way to the end. I think it goes up to 43. Yeah, there you go, 43. Okay, so I put all these numbers, and I put all of these numbers into list 1. And then I put the population, or frog eggs, into my list 2. And there's quite a few of them, but I put them all in. So I entered all the numbers, and just put them all the way from 10,534. Put them all in until I got to the very last one, last population, the last list. So you can see I put them all in to the last one, okay? So one thing is the two lists should have equal amounts of numbers because these are points. It should be points. If the lists are off, you're going to get an error, okay? Now, what do we want to do that? Well, I want to calculate an answer. I want an equation. I want an equation that models this curve, okay? We can draw this curve in. It looks like it might fit most of the data. So to do that, I'm going to go back to stats because I want to calculate. I want to calculate some kind of an answer. Well, I really believe it's quartic, so there's all these different buttons to push for all these different ways to do stats. We want the one that says quartic, okay? We want the quartic reg. That's the one we think fits this model. So I push enter for quartic reg, enter again, and it's thinking, okay? Now some of the newer calculators will say go to calculate, but there it is. Now what are these numbers? Well, so if you take a look at the answer that the book gave, okay, it's sum x to the fourth, so it's going to be y equals sum x to the fourth plus sum x to the third plus sum x squared plus sum x value plus some constant. Well, the calculator gives you what they are. So A is 0.2319. Put that in there for the value of A goes in with the x fourth. Then the value of B, the calculator says is negative 20.26. We put that in for B. C, about 540.05 for x squared. D, negative 4,378. That goes in for x. And then finally, there's one more value. Go down. The E is 10,000, about 64.4, okay? And so we've got all those values in here. Now, there's one more thing, and that's the R value. The R squared value is a percentage. The R squared value in here is a percentage. So R squared is a percentage of how well the data fits. The number 1 would be the best, okay? R squared equals 1 is best, and that means that every one of these points would be on this curve. Awesome. But it's saying that it's got about an 86% no, I'm sorry, about 95%. That's not bad fit. 95% of these data points are close to the curve, okay? Some of these are out there, that's kind of out there, that kind of out there, okay? So then, and not only that, but you take a look at this kind of is impossible, right? You can have negative eggs. You can have there negative eggs. So then from your equation, you can make predictions, okay? So we can plug numbers in to get our values, and that's kind of what we talked about. The homework that you're going to do is from same kind of thing, but I made up these numbers. So you've got populations of beetles. Okay, whatever. So I want you to do a scatter plot, get the equation. It is a quartic for sure. Find the R value, R squared value. Predict, so you plug 15 into your equation. Whatever the x's are, plug 15 in. And on the back, I get a little bit more that talks about old stuff that I'd like you to go ahead and do. Okay? All right, that's all I have for today. I will see everybody tomorrow.